Reached a decision on the landmark Roe v. Wade case. The ruling is on a case called Dobbs versus Jackson Women's Health Organization. It's Mississippi's law that bans nearly all abortions after 15 weeks gestational age. It's considered the most direct challenge to Roe v. Wade in nearly 30 years. The question today, whether the law is constitutional, and we will have that answer in a matter of seconds. There were three possible outcomes. The court could strike down the law, which is seen as highly unlikely. It could uphold the law, or the court could uphold the Mississippi law and overrule Roe v. Wade. This would not make abortion illegal, but it would allow the states to ban it. As an aside, about half of the states would do so, and many have a mechanism in place right now to make this automatic.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So the Supreme Court, they made an executive decision here today. They decided to, it was I believe a 5-4 ruling, or some people say a 6-3 ruling, but the majority ruled that abortion should be overturned, the Roe v. Wade. Now, the overturning of Roe v. Wade was set up to almost immediately remake how access to abortion looks in America, right? And this, according to CNBC, 22 states already had laws and constitutional amendments that were already in place, which could quickly use to try to ban abortion. Then you had like a series of states, I believe, they had these trigger laws. So therefore, like the trigger laws, they already had like laws banning in that specific state. They already had laws like they was going to ban abortion, regardless if the Supreme Court decides not to overturn the Roe v. Wade. And the thing is too, you know, the nearly half of the states were effectively banning on most abortions. Like you had, like even Michigan, a picture of the map here. Michigan has an abortion ban that predates in 1973. I know the state of Texas had multiple laws banning abortion already. You got Louisiana, you got Nebraska, Missouri, states like Arizona, Idaho. So, I mean, it's a majority. Even half the country is kind of split on this specific decision. Now, I'm going to go into my take on it. If you watch my my videos prior about this, is that when I made it about a few weeks ago. Now, I used to have like a huge, strong conservative approach about this abortion. My thing is that I'm not a woman, and I can't tell what a woman should do with their body, but I believe that a woman should have the ability to choose whether or not they should have an abortion, because if they're on certain circumstances, like for instance, right, if a woman medically cannot birth a child, and if they birth the child might have a defect, or the mother may die possibly, or if a woman was raped, okay, a woman was taken advantage of, and she was unable to go ahead and you know, enjoy her life, and like I said, her body was just taken advantage of. I believe that it should be some limitations, like, okay, well, hey, we're gonna be really lenient, and the states be like, okay, well, you can go ahead and accept this abortion. I don't think it should be completely banned. And you got to think about this too, Lana. If a woman is just going ahead and just loose and promiscuous, okay, then no, she disqualifies for having an abortion. That's my take on it. And I know in the more conservative approach, and according, you know, people may be basing off of religion and in the Bible, that, hey, we should not have as human beings the right to go ahead and destroy a baby or kill a baby before it's born. That's just like killing innocent lives. They are God's children. What are you guys doing? And some people may believe because it's affecting the low birth rate here in this country, and they just think it's just morally wrong. You got some people thinking it's just disgusting, like, why you should do that. We should hold these women accountable for their actions. And, you know, President Biden, he expressed his thoughts on it. You even had Ms. Lisa Walowski. She was one of the senators. She was a Republican too. She was actually very angry about this. But I mean, I think one of the reasons too is that the Supreme Court was ruling that, hey, you know, we was motivated to go ahead and had the majority rule to leave it up to the states here, you know, that wants to go ahead and, you know, make these laws for Roe v. Wade. Pretty much they're not obligated to go ahead and effectively have abortion in their states, okay? And, you know, it, like I said, started with Jane Roe. In 1969, she was pregnant with her third child, and she medically couldn't, you know, give birth. And she, you know, she was wanted in Texas, and Texas was it was pretty much angry about that. And then, you know, the district attorney, Henry Wade, it was a huge civil lawsuit, and they ended up winning. But man, it's it's really, this is gonna be a really interesting thing, man. Now I don't know if it's gonna be some type of rage. You got a lot of people that's protesting outside the Supreme Court. I'm pretty sure people, you know, the law enforcement in that local area has the riot gear and they being ready. Oh, nothing crazy happens. Then a lot of conservatives and people are very happy that, hey, no more killing babies. We're excited about this. No more killing babies. Finally, that our country is moving in the right direction. Me, let's just be a little, I'm gonna be a little sensitive about this too, because it's a sensitive topic. If people do want to discuss this, it's your opinion. Don't attack me. This is just my opinion. We all entitled to our opinions, but I'm just trying to be neutral on this. But this is eventually, this is exactly how I feel. You know, this is my perspective on the world. I just believe that women should have some type of right to go ahead and say, hey, I don't want to produce this baby. I made a mistake. You got some women who actually made a mistake laying down with some guy and they're like, man, financially, if I have this baby, it's going to be very difficult for me. And what about I want to go ahead and go to school? And yes, we probably like, oh, you should have closed your legs. But, you know, if you're young and dumb, you're going to make mistakes. I think women should have at least some type of choice. Be a constitutional right for them to not go ahead and, you know, have a baby if they don't want to. Now, I want to sit up here and say this. Supporters of the abortion rights immediately condemned the ruling, while abortion opponents praised the decision they had long hoped for and worked to ensure. Protesters descended on the Supreme Court on Friday to speak on both for and against a decision that will upend decades of precedents in the U.S. Justice Samuel Alito, as suspected, wrote the majority opinion that tossed out Roe, as well as the 1992 Supreme Court decision upholding abortion rights in the case known as the Planned Parenthood versus Casey. Alito was joined in judgment. Four other conservatives on the High Court, Chief Justice John Roberts, voted with the majority to uphold the Mississippi abortion restrictions, but did not approve the overturning Roe altogether. And this is from their perspective here. Man, yeah, this is really heavy, man. I just didn't really think this was gonna happen so soon. I'm just like, man, so, but that's just kind of my thoughts on this, man. I was just thinking about, like, dang, what about, you know, a woman was, you know, taken advantage of, or she medically could not go ahead and have a baby. The only thing is I can really think of is, like, you know, you got, you know, liberal states like California, maybe Nevada, Washington, Oregon, and those states, maybe New York. They'd probably be like, okay, you know, they'd be a little bit lenient on it. But man, it's going to be really interesting here. And this is why I've always stressed it's so important to vote and know and understand who's your governors, who is your local officials, your judges, because it's going to come down to, like, your votes hold so much weight when it comes to your local elections. I don't think we have too much power in the presidency because we go about the electoral college. But with this, if, you know, you're angry about this, and, you know, there's a lot of women who are angry, some women who are not, you know, but some women actually, I know some women that's really happy about this decision that, hey, I don't believe that a woman should go ahead and have an abortion. But me personally, I think they should at least have some type of choice there. But it should, it can work something out in this country to be some type of limitations. Like, hey, if you're just a woman that's irresponsible, you're just gonna, you know, go ahead and have sex all you want, and you don't want to have the responsibility of a child. So, like, hey, I just go ahead and get an abortion now. That's wrong. But that's just me personally. That's just how I feel right now. But I want you to tell me your thoughts on this. I know this is a very sensitive topic, and, you know, we got to discuss this. I had to talk about this. I mean, this was something very important here. But yeah, states like Texas, Mississippi, Georgia, they got some abortion laws too. So the trigger laws over here anyway, that's already in place. So it's going to be up to the governor to go ahead and be like, hey, well, we're going to allow women, you know, to get an abortion up to like 6 weeks. But the crazy part is that a lot of women don't even know that they are pregnant within like the 6 weeks, or, you know, 6 weeks or 7 weeks. Like, that's just not enough time. Some women may know they're pregnant within 12 or 13 weeks. And that's the thing is, it's like, dang, I didn't know I was pregnant, like, you know, until 7th week, and now I can't even get an abortion. It's a little different, man. It's going to be very tricky here, but I wonder what's going to happen. I just pray that the protests don't get violent. That's my only thing is, because I don't want to go back in here and report that. I don't want people getting hurt, but it's a lot of division going on in this country. We gotta be united, man. I know it's a little difficult, but because you got some of the conservatives, they want the Republicans to own back into the House, but we'll see, man. But that's my thoughts. That's my take on it. Thank you guys. You guys tell me what you guys think, man. You guys continue to like, comment, subscribe, share this video. That's all we have to say. I'm out until next time. Deuces.